Can I define cosplay? I would say cosplaying is an art of mimicking a character.
Basically, it's right there in the name. Costume and play, which forms cosplay. I view it as like getting together with your friends and making costumes, wearing costumes, going out into public, and just wearing your costume and having fun.
But I think cosplaying is really just being able to dress up as your favorite character and mimic them and just have fun.
It's like those actual people are there. It's like there's an actual gathering of all these fictional characters, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable for everybody.
I have been costuming for roughly 2 to 3 years.
5 years now? 5, 6 years?
In that time frame, I have made, well, at least started making 2.
And I've been cosplaying for 6 years or so, so yeah, about 20 costumes in 6 years is probably what I'm at right now, and still making more.
I've done at least maybe 10 going, I don't know.
My favorite cosplay would have to be Roxas from Kingdom Hearts. Hands down, he is my favorite, and I put a lot of time and effort into him, and I've taken him to con at least 2 different times.
My favorite thing to cosplay is Deadpool from the Marvel series.
My first costume was a Mandalorian, which is from Star Wars. I'm still working on that. That was the first costume that started. The second one was Connor Kenway, the main character from the video game Assassin's Creed 3.
Recently, this year, I've done Ezio from Assassin's Creed. I wore that to Comic-Con. I redid my Deadpool costume. I also did a Shadow Link this year. I wore that to a Renaissance fair. I started out costuming with a Master Chief costume, and I've redone that at least 4 times.
Basic process for me for making costumes. First, the hard part of figuring out what I'm going to take to a convention. Usually, by this point right now, I have 10 months before my next convention, and I have outfits I want to do already. And I start having to nitpick and figure out what I'm going to do.
Because it changes every time I see something cool.
By the time I settle on the characters, usually the first thing I will get is their wigs so that I can get the wig styled and everything done beforehand. Then after that, it's usually figuring out what pieces of the costume have to be made, what can I buy, what can I go find at a Goodwill.
Anywhere between 25 to 50% of my costume is store-bought. This is because it's difficult to make undergarments, like a flight suit or a shirt or something like that.
In all my time costuming, I have purchased only 2 costumes. Everything else is completely handmade, or I go to Goodwill. I find old Nerf guns or just random bits of cars or old jackets or something, and I try to hand make everything. The first time I ever cosplayed at a con as Deadpool, I bought a spandex suit. Do not buy spandex suits.
Oh, there's your problem.
And it's a slow process of trying to figure out what needs to be made, what needs to be bought, and once you start getting all the pieces together, it kind of just slowly comes together, and it's a beautiful outfit in the end. My experience with cosplay culture has actually been a really enjoyable one. The cons I go to, I've never had issues with other people getting on top of people for outfits not being right.
I had a lot of people come up and comment me on my costume. I talked with other cosplayers about how they made theirs.
You know, it's a lot of fun meeting new people, other cosplayers, and I think the coolest thing is just finding those couple cosplayers that they appreciate your costume just as much as you appreciate yours.
One thing you learn about cosplaying when you go to conventions is that you make a lot of friends. Everybody that cosplays is pretty much interested in costuming, of course.
Everybody's gonna appreciate your costume at a con. I mean, if you spend that much time loving that character, putting effort into making that costume, people will appreciate it. Generally, everybody is in a pretty good mood and pretty accepting of whatever you bring to the show.
I see cosplaying not only as a way to meet people and have fun, but as a hobby.
When I go and cosplay as Deadpool, other people at the conventions, they see a Deadpool, and to them it's like the real thing.
So it's been a really enjoyable experience and makes me want to keep going back and not be ashamed that if I'm not, the size 0 cosplayer, that I'm still going to be loved because I'm putting effort into my outfits.